The statement again?
Yes, please.
As per requirements of Public Law 1975, Chapter 231, notice is hereby given that this is a regular meeting of the Borough of Highlands Mayor and Council and all requirements have been met. Notice has been transmitted to the Asbury Park Press and the Two River Times. Notice has been posted on the public bulletin board. Formal action will be taken.
We all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call.
Ms. Bruin?
Young. Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Diorigo?
Dorigo. Yes. That's okay.
Ms. Wells?
Here.
Mr. Nolan?
He is absent.
All members are present.
Okay. Okay, for the opening the first public portion for the consent agenda, does anyone have any comments? Are there any comments? I'll close the public portion. Are there any comments from the table on any of the items on the consent agenda? Hearing none, I will offer it.
Second.
I'm sorry, who's second? Ms. Bruin?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Ms. Diorigo? I'm sorry.
That's okay. Dorigo and yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor, items on the consent agenda have passed.
Do you have to do the approval of minutes separately? It's listed as all public portions, so I just don't want to miss it.
Just look at the consent.
I don't think it's usually a public.
Do you want, I know it's probably just off.
Which is fine, I just
I
want to miss it.
Offered?
Offered.
All right, I'll second it.
Approval of minutes.
Ms. Bruin?
Yes.
Mr. Carr?
Yes.
Mr. Dorigo, yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mr. Nolan? Oh, no. Mayor, the approval of minutes has passed.
Okay, the ordinance O-1622, capital ordinance providing for $400,000 in general improvements. This is the public hearing and adoption. Are you going to read through that?
It has to be read in the
I got to read this. I'm sorry, I'm not doing that part. Resolution authorizing an emergency contract. Capital ordinance providing for various general capital improvements by and in the Borough of Highlands in the County of Monmouth, State of New Jersey, appropriating $400,000 therefore from the capital improvement fund to pay for the cost thereof. Is there any comments from the public?
Seeing none, I'll close the public portion on that.
If I may, I just want to comment on that. This ordinance allows us to move aggressively with fixing capital improvements, but more importantly, as expressed by concerns of the citizens. In the last meeting, what's important is that QPA, we still have to hold ourselves to standards of checks and balances. It's not bonding, we're not spending money that we don't have, we're not using a credit card. I that is just mentioned for the record.
Right, this money is not, it's not a bond, it's money that already exists within our budget. We are just setting it aside to a separate line item so that it can be used for only capital improvements as they come up from time to time, things that we need to fix. Everything would still need to go through the entire structure that we do, as Doug mentioned, it has to go through the qualified purchasing agent, it would still have to come up to the governing body, and everything would still need to get over. And with that, I will offer this ordinance.
That's why there's the provision that all expenditures for central improvement shall comply with local public contracts. So that was added into the ordinance.
Nothing's changing from what we normally do.
I will second that motion. Sorry. What are, Becky, have anything?
No, I think you want that?
No, I'm just happy that the verbiage was changed,
Yes.
because it was a little loosey-goosey the first time, so.
Roll call?
Ms. Bruin?
Yes.
Mr. Card?
Yes.
Mr. Reed, the Arabia?
Yes.
Ms. Wells?
Yes.
Mayor, ordinance 16-22 has been properly adopted.
Committee reports, finance?
Okay, I'll take that one there. Just a couple of quick items here. The tax office had mailed out on Friday added tax bills, so if anybody had any additions or improvements to the houses, we sent out about 100 bills there. If there's any disputes, you can let the tax office know. We're also working on the Community Disaster Loan Forgiveness Program, so we're meeting with some people from the state there next week, and we're trying to convert our loan into a grant. The current fund currently has $2 million outstanding, and the sewer has $300,000 outstanding. Those funds were given to the town to hold taxes stable during Hurricane Sandy. So we're meeting with the manager, who's taking a crucial role in this, and that's going to be our focus here in getting that turned into a grant. And that's all we have.
Public safety?
Okay, I did receive the fire department. I did not receive the first aid after a request for it. There were 21 calls on the fire department in the month of September. They responded to calls ranging from smoke detector to alarm activations and possible water rescues. They did hold a memorial service on September 11th at the firehouse. They did attend the convention in Wildwood. Notable calls, the Highlands Fire Department held a storm preparation drill to prepare for Hurricane Hermine. They were on standby from September 2nd to September 4th. Thankfully, there was nothing happening. Early in the morning on September 18th, the Highlands Fire Department was called on a cover assignment to stand by at Monmouth Beach Firehouse for the structure fire. And they were called to Sandy Hook for a vehicle fire. They responded to all fire calls during the month of September and assisted HPD with traffic control.
Administration?
I don't need a second, if you want.
Why would go to Board of Ed?
Actually, there's not much to report. We did the student of the month last night. We had a little bit of issue with that, so I think moving forward, Carol and I will just figure it out. I did have an email which I did not, I didn't see where it wasn't there, so I checked a few times. But either way, that went, and just so you know, they got their cones today.
Good.
The fire department brought up cones.
Nice.
If they didn't do it today, they were doing it tonight. So they're having some issues by way of parking when kids get in and out of school. It's just a very, very busy area, so we're working through some of that and waiting for our Safe Grants to Schools, Safe Ways to School grant.
Brian?
Just about there.
Just about there.
Just had a few things that I've updated the mayor and council on already. Valley Street, that contract was awarded to Tri-Bar Construction. The original quote that we got was way beyond what we were expecting it to spend for the emergency, so we changed the scope of work around. Tri-Bar came in at $52,800, so the contract is awarded to him to do.
Do you know when that would be taking to start?
Actually
start?
He called for markouts yesterday, so that's usually within a few days It is going to take him a few weeks to do the work because he has to do work around the tide schedules because of the location, proximity to the water. Here at the rec center, we're going to be replacing the decking outside. We're going with composite decking instead of wood. A significant portion of that's going to be reimbursed through FEMA PW. Website's up and running. We've been still working on tweaking minor issues. DPW is replacing some wood around the monument at Legion Field. And that's about it.
Just the award of the contract for the storm sewer replacement was resolution 16-204. That's for Tri-Bar for the $2,800.
So the business partnership actually did that last.
I was just going to add to the stormwater management, the Valley Street. I know Brian and Lou and myself, but then I was disconnected a little bit because I felt it was prudent to let them do the negotiations. It's been better to have multiple contractors, and even the big time contractors with big numbers, saying everybody's in, I guess, the same kind of conclusions to solve the problem. But for the big contractors to mobilize to come out, it just cost prohibitive to them. And they were very nice with us with the information they gave us. I know I had to have a meeting the next day at the last council meeting the following morning. I think it was Lucas Brothers, correct me if I'm wrong. They were very informative. They helped us out with quite a bit of information that allowed us to be able to be confident in the smaller contractor that can mobilize. It's not a
scope job.
Yeah, and it's not a temporary fix. It's a fix that's going to allow Bowling to us to go out to bigger project. Now that Christie got his 23 cents for his gas increase, that release came out. So I'm going to encourage to add to that and put it out to the bigger bid and get the rest of the project done.
HBP, I gave that report at the last meeting, so I don't have any updates. Except to say, it's Oktoberfest this weekend, come to Betts Park. It's 12 to 7. 12 to 9. 12 to 9, I think, with the revised hours. So 12 to 9 at Betts Park for Oktoberfest, it's always a lot of fun.
On the HPP, they did have a generator borrowed permanently from one of the zombies or somebody. So if someone's out there that's got a new generator that shouldn't belong to them, see if we get it back to them.
Yeah.
Carla's a little upset about the generator being stolen.
Yeah, they put it down at the ends of the nets and then you turn it back for a couple of minutes.
So, yeah, it's all the proper paperwork's filled out. No harm, no foul. Just return it and we'll call it a day.
Grant writing. Anything from your side of the table?
I didn't know that this was going to be on for tonight, but I can give you a little bit of an update. Open space was submitted as requested. Same thing with the Safe Routes to School.
Do you know when Safe Routes to School is going to be awarded?
I don't know, but I can look into that and find out. Try to get some kind of a status from DOT tomorrow.
That'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Community development, we were successful. 146, I believe, was the number for the sewer projects. So we'll get those TV soon, so we could at least identify the problems, and then I'll work with Brian to work out a scope for the project and get that moving.
146,000, and that's for that zone that's up on the hill.
No, 146 was actually for the blocks between Bay and Shore from Washington to Valley, I believe. Somewhere in that region. I forget, maybe Washington Atlantic. I'd have to go back and look.
I think it's Washington.
And then besides that, that's where we are right now.
Dale, I know I expressed talking about maybe videotaping Bay Street up on the hill at the same time while they're in town, so that if we choose to pave that, we're not paving over.
We can certainly do that. I mean, when we bring out the cleaning and TV company, they usually charge us by the half day or full day. Okay. So basically, if we give them enough work to get to a full day, or if it's more than a day, we should look at several streets. I know maybe down Huddy, there might be some work we're doing with the gas company, so we can do something with that. But yeah, we should look at all those streets we want to get done, or that we know that are coming up. Keep in mind, you still have a grant that's out there from the state, not for just Valley, but also for that one block of Miller between Bay and Shore, from 15. So that one we would have to. I suggest we move on that quickly, not like in the next month, but I mean, I would say go to construction spring, summer next year. But we can also package that with other roads because you don't want to do a little block like that by itself. You'll get awful unit prices. So.
Could you compile a list of possible roads that we could
Absolutely.
tie together, and then that way we can put out the RFP and
Yeah, actually,
get ahead of it now?
Actually, working with Brian on that, Brian has requested that from me along with a list of moratorium roads. And I will say that I have been dragging a little bit getting that to him. So I will have that wrapped up and to him by the end of the week.
Good.
All right.
I'll just add to that, the streetscape project, I know I met with the contractors for your office.
Yep.
And the staff, the guy and the stamp, they're looking to start probably end of this week.
Yeah. Once our mats come in.
The mats, the mats that they have, so people clarify, were not the same texture. They're the same pattern, not the texture. I could not approve that, so I had to say no. They went out and did some due diligence and got them.
Coming from California, which we are purchasing, by the way.
Yes.
When they're done with this project, we are purchasing those mats from the contractor, so we have them as part of what we'll call a triage kit.
Yeah.
Do we have any recourse to go back to the original contractor and try to get those mats from them?
It wasn't in the contract to purchase them from them, and being that they got them from a company that's out of business, they can't get any more of them, so they are not willing to part.
Okay.
And then I know this contractor tried to just rent them, maybe purchase them, and they wouldn't even talk to them. So these here, we'll get these. So at least
Once this project is completed, they belong to us.
they belong to us, right?
Okay.
And I've talked to the contractors and the gentleman in the triage kit in the sense that I'm going to try to get John Snyder to do a video as they're stamping it so that if a homeowner is doing a repair or a mason that's never done that before, if it's a curb cut, they can watch the video and see how it's done. So we keep it consistent and matched and have it's dye, bag of dye, and bag of all the goodies in the box ready to go.
Now let me stay on that topic for a quick sec. Phase 1 of the streetscape is wrapping up. We're moving into closeout with EDA. EDA has actually walked the site with my guys. They are extremely happy. We've given the purchasing agent Kim. We've given her the change orders that she didn't have possession of. So she's got everything now that she needs. Long story short, there should not be a reason why we don't get full reimbursement back in that project.
Great.
And that was a $1.5 million grant.
Very nice. Okay, shared services. Does anyone have anything on that? No? Communications. Still working on the website. I encourage any and all feedback from both the governing body and all departments and the general public and anything at all. Feedback or suggestions, or you're having some kind of event, you can put on the calendar and let people know about it. Anybody have any other reports that are not listed here?
I mean, rec, we did it the first 2 months.
Right.
So I would just ask that for the next agenda, maybe we'll make rec number 4 and leave Board A, just because it's listed twice.
Right, no, we'll
Take
take
one
one,
out.
we'll just get a full list of these.
If I could talk about one more thing, I'm sorry. The Vets Park Electric. We've got bids back in on that today for an A and a B proposal. A being labor-based proposal with some material, the other being labor and material. So we actually did a recommendation of award that went out late this afternoon. So take a look at it. I think it went to everybody on the council and Mr. Gagan. Take a look at that. See if you're happy and whenever you're ready to award, if you choose to do so, it's ready for you.
Can you put that on for the next meeting?
Sure.
Do you have that together in a resolution form?
Yeah, definitely for the next meeting.
And that's,
And actually, just because Scott's here too, we started basketball camp today. We had 50 kids sign up.
nice.
Yeah, which is really great for a
50 kids.
first time program.
All right, other business, lifeguards.
I just wanted to put it on the agenda, Brian can update all, I think it's gonna end up being a governing body decision, how we
Okay.
want to go, so I don't wanna,
All right.
you know.
Looking at a few different options.
Okay.
Pretty much we can privatize, hire a contractor to come in and handle it. I ran into the administrator from Seabright about a week or so ago. He left the door open that we could consider that for next year, doing a shared service or hiring in-house, running our own program. If we were to do something like that, my personal recommendation would be to hire somebody soon to start putting the program together, whether it's recruiting, training, making sure we have the right equipment in place, that kind of thing. So I'm hoping by the next meeting I might be able to have some more information about each of them. Jen had made some phone calls to some contractors, and I want to say the price came in at like $70,000.
Yeah, that's
So
crazy.
I'm sure we can
Pat,
cross that one off the list.
how much money do we have
Lots of-
budgeted for recreation?
This year we
That's someone
budgeted
that could be a
30,000.
recreation director
Yeah,
/ lifeguard. What do we have in the budget for that?
Okay, let's see. So for recreation.
I believe it was 30,000 was budgeted for
lifeguards.
No, I'm talking about just for
lifeguards.
lifeguards. If you're gonna have to hire someone that's gonna have to run it, it could be that position of rec director that's been empty since Tim moved out of that position to administrator. So if there's been monies that have been allocated for that, for all those years that have not been spent, it's still being carried over.
I don't
There
think
has to
there-
be
I
at a
don't-
starting
yeah.
salary, and some,
I
there
don't
is a
think there was
salary.
money carried over from when Tim moved over.
Well, we pretty
It was
much
taken
ran,
out.
yeah, we ran the rec department through the community center.
Right.
Is that right? Right, so, we do have funds available in that line item now, we only have 2.5 months to go.
Right.
So I mean, I could read out some numbers, we have a $110,000 community center budget, and we've spent as of the last payroll there, 66,000, so we're still sitting with about 43,000.
For the year, for this year.
To get us through the rest of the year.
Right.
One of the things I was thinking, if we're going to look to go to a recreation director, I think that's going to take a little bit more planning and
Right.
recruiting selection, where if we hired somebody, even if it were just part-time basis now, whatever the title would be, head lifeguard or, whatever title we give it to, they would just be dealing with that program
Right.
as opposed to all the
Everything.
recreation.
Yeah,
Right.
That would probably be my recommendation is to go that way, but obviously it's up to whatever.
do you think we would have enough time to be able to get something together for us for the next meeting so that we can tweak the language of who we, I don't know, head lifeguard, I know there's a whole bunch of different listings
Yeah.
and titles under civil service.
Yeah, don't we have issues with self-service, but I think
Well, if it's only a part-time position, that makes it much easier for us to deal with.
Okay,
I'm under the understanding, I think it's great that we're doing a roundtable discussion and putting it on the table. I think it was important that the community at large wants a community rec center program across the boards. I'm sure Becky and those people that are involved in that would love to have a employee that's dedicated to moving this program, whether it's for the youth or the older citizens of our community. But we really, before we make any kind of, we need to evaluate from all directions. We got water, we got some basketball happening, we have to do something. It's something that the community is wanting to do, and I hate to say this, it's not a dollar value here. It's a quality of life for our community, for our residents, young and old. So I appreciate what you're doing, Brian, what Becky's done, and Claudette. But we got to make a decision in a timely manner because spring's coming.
Right,
but
like,
you
that's
have
right,
enough
that's
time.
right.
Spring's coming.
You know, if you
between
don't
now
wanna get it,
and November 2nd, 3rd, whatever the next meeting is, to pull together different options so that we can
Yeah, I mean,
be more
to
informed.
compare the two numbers
Yeah.
versus
I mean,
doing
I'm
it in-house
curious-
versus a shared service.
Right.
So that way I can.
I'm
I think
curious on
everyone
the
agrees
shared
that
service.
70,000 is not an option.
Well, that's what I wanted to put on the
Yeah.
table. I mean,
I think that's not
You know,
outrageous.
I know that's how I feel. I'm curious to see how shared service would pan out. I mean,
Yeah,
I think
just
there's
to-
a lot of options there.
So what is the
If they
difference
can
between shared
deliver.
service and us having somebody here that's part-time,
Right.
that's handling the difference?
I know when I spoke to the supervisor administrator last summer, it was well into the summer, but he was actually running into a challenge where they had to cut hours from their lifeguards. The lifeguards wanted to work more, they had to cut hours because of Obamacare and probably how many hours they were working. So he had employees that were looking to work more and work more hours, but he wasn't able to do it through his budget. So
Let's embrace that.
Yeah, definitely.
So can we have someone in our town that works with the person that's doing the supervisory capacity in Seabright together? So that they can do a
Part
shared
of shared
service?
services.
Like in
figure
other
it
words,
out.
have somebody here?
we could, but I would think it would go one way or the other. If we're
Yeah,
doing
'cause then you're
shared
doing
service, they already have a structure set up,
Right.
so.
No, you're good.
Yeah, but can their supervisor handle another town?
Like,
I
if they
just-
needed like an assistant, you
Yeah.
know, to be.
Well, I think that would be part of the discussions,
Yeah.
if they
Yeah.
think they could handle it or not, or, you know, I think we have to get a little further into it, but I just wanted to bring to the table the potential options that we
Yeah.
have.
Let's not forget about Atlantic Highlands. They have the bigger ball fields. They have the
Yeah, but they don't have reference.
exactly. But what I'm saying is that under the premise of shared services, we want to involve all the kids, old, young, and everybody in between. It's not my expertise, but I think that all of us up here have an obligation to do a little research, feed it to Brian, and let Brian compile pros and cons kind of list or whatever, and then we'll go from there.
Yep.
But I can't underline the fact time is of the essence.
Yeah, we need to get something in place.
And I would think, you know, whatever we
In order to be
decide,
successful.
maybe for November 2nd, we still have the ad kind of written up so we can digest it. Whether we decide to go that way or not, at least we'll have what we're looking for the part-time person. And then that way, if we sit there on, you know, November 2nd and say, okay, let's move forward with shared service, we don't need that. But if we say, let's move forward with
And even
our own part-time person, it's on the street instead.
Even if we do move forward with shared service, I think we do our citizens a disservice by not having somebody that's open water certified working in the community center. Because we got kids here all summer that are playing around, like they're either in the program or they're playing on the beach, and to have that extra person that has that certification, I think would be an added bonus.
Turn watch your waters.
Okay, high water.
I just put that on for Dale to update us. We
Yeah, I can give you an
discussed
update. So basically, the last we spoke, we were all kicking around a little bit. I reached out to FEMA, reached out to county. So this round of the high water mark is closed. They're not accepting any more applications in this round, but they said there will be a second round coming out. So when that happens, we're going to express interest. They know we're interested now, but they couldn't put us into this round. So when they do
say
this
when the next round was gonna be?
next year at some point. I was coming from Margaret Renee over at the county.
Could we do our own high water mark?
I guess you could if you want to. I mean, we have benchmark elevations, so to speak, of where things were, and we can do our own public awareness type thing. I mean, there are different things we can do in town here. We have not given up on the CRS program, by the way. We're still trying to get into there. But again, with the map still dangling out there the way they are, they're less prudent to let us in. But it's still on the radar. Just trying to get us into that.
I have a question.
Yeah.
I got an email today from, I guess, Ryan, or Rebecca, somebody, about Cologne showing up here tomorrow to talk about the FEMA flood maps, FEMA and NFIP. Well, I have a real concern that we got a 6-hour notice on this. What's the deal here? How did this come about?
last week Frank had called me and said Congressman Malone wants to come. He said he would be out of town. I said, okay. I said I could work from home if you need me to be here that day. And he said, well, I wouldn't, send anything out till we're sure he's coming, which the email came today, and I think I sent it out probably 20 minutes after I got it, or 30 minutes after I got it. So
that was his confirmation.
that was his confirmation, because on Friday, Frank had said something to Malone's office and said, are you coming? Yes, no. We don't wanna put it out there unless it's
I
right.
have a real concern about that, because
So-
Dale and I have been trying to meet with him, and did try to meet with him in Washington. And he refused to meet with us concerning this. So to spring this on this town, that he's gonna just show up in this community center, tomorrow, with like 8-hour notice, and considering Dale and I have been very actively involved in all this, and we weren't even consulted on this, really is quite surprising, to say the least.
And I will second that posture, because I think with the highest respect for Mr. Maloney's position as a congressman, he has really not effectively done anything to campaign or champion fighting for floodplain management, NI5P, FEMA. He's saying both Claudette and Dale down to Washington DC. He refused to meet with them even when they knocked on their door.
Yeah.
I have a disconcern when he shows up in our town, uses our town as a poster child for him. Let's face it, it's political posturing for votes. And he really has done nothing for our town. I'm not happy about it.
No, I'm not either.
It'd be different. I know Mr. Pallone has helped out on other issues like Range Project, which everybody knows my wife is deeply involved with, and he did a great job with that. But what is he doing for his community? And I'm not happy about it either, for the record. And I will be here tomorrow, and I'll be asking pointed questions of Mr. Pallone.
And to schedule at 10:30 on a workday in the middle of the week with an 8-hour notice just is a slap in the face to all Dale has done and all I have done for this town in concern with flood maps and trying to work the insurance issue, and quite frankly, it's not right. It's not right.
So it's 10:30 here in the community center?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, I
Encourage
forwarded it out
the
as,
public.
I forwarded it out as soon as I got it, I put it on Facebook as soon as I got it.
Thank you for
It's
that.
on the website, it's on the community calendar.
But I think he initially contacted Mayor Nolan maybe like Wednesday of last week. if
Well,
that.
if I can encourage, thank you for that communication, I can encourage the community that's listening on the web or whatever, to come to
And as
the
I
meeting
had Carolyn put it right on the
question.
website.
and question Mr. Palone's true intention.
That's right. Okay. All right, public portion. Don't all answer at once. Yes, sir, can you please state your name and address for the record?
Good evening, Scott Keller, 890. 2 questions. East on the beach, update, please.
Brian, have we heard anything?
I got a text from Bob Murray from Alston Construction on Saturday asking for an update. He advised me that they would be on location sometime this week to look at it, and I should have more information by the end of this week.
End of this week.
And that's Red Bank Recycling, you said? Or Austin?
All.
He's from Alston Construction.
The VA's been instructed and has been, correct me if I'm wrong, with communication with Red Bank Recycling, who's the contractor, has been awarded the contract to remove the structure.
So it's being removed, not
One way or the other.
trucking out to Carteret.
One way or the other.
One way or the other.
And
And in
now
all
Austin is
fairness,
also working with, Austin is who's gonna come and take a look at this and then report
Time
back.
frame
out
for
to
it.
End of this, oh no, the end of the week he's coming to look at.
so I would say by the end of this calendar year, without, well, one way or the other, by January 1st, it's not going to be here.
Okay. Second question, the wall, the seawall, and the Army Corps of Engineers raising it and the berm and all. Where do we stand on that project?
We had a meeting with them 2 weeks ago now. They're in peer review of the project. It went to Congress. They got all their approvals. The Beltway did their thing. They're in peer review. That's not going to be available back to us or even them until January 31st. And at that time, it will be presented to this community, the governing body. And at that time, we have to make a decision, our intention as a community, do we want to do the wall or not do the wall. I made it very clear to the Corps of Engineers that they're going to have a full education program going down to make sure everybody fully understands the impacts of this wall, pros and cons. Multiple town hall meetings will happen. I'm forecasting at least 6 to at least maybe a dozen town hall meetings. It's a lot to absorb. There's a lot of engineering going on.
And people can't make it.
Yeah, and again, we have to educate the community about the risk, why we should or should not do it. But the Corps of Engineers have done what we asked them to do. It's a benefit to us by allowing them to complete their feasibility study, if that's the correct word, if I can use that. Because it's not costing us anything at this point in time. It allows us to see what they've done and some of the solutions and ideas that they've come up we can adopt with our stormwater management. I mean, Dale at the last meeting almost jumped over the table saying this is a beautiful idea to help with some of our stormwater management.
That was not the wall.
It was not the
Many
wall,
different
so-
parts of the project.
So it's beneficial to the community, but at this point, January 31st, be prepared for public hearings and
At
so
the
forth.
ample time for community input.
I foresee this taking at least a year and a half of community input and vetting out. I've already forewarned them that they're gonna have to put product demos up or renderings or show and tell and education. And simplify so everybody can understand.
Anyone else? All good?
Is this any more questions? Is
Any more questions? Speak now
Um,
for
what-
please. Could you please state
Arnie
your name?
Q, 50 Valley Street. What is the capital ordinance providing for $400,000 for the general improvements plan?
Okay, that ordinance, what it's doing is it's taking $400,000 of money that we already have in our budget, and it's moving it to a different line item. And that line item is so that $400,000 can only be used for capital improvements to town.
Of the
All of
time
that-
period, you guys decide later what that is going to be.
Exactly, and everything goes under the exact same procedures as they do now. Our purchase agent that sends out the RFPs, they go through, they come up to the council, you'll know about it, it will be on resolutions. The only thing that's changing is we're making a separate line item tracking capital.
Is there anything in mind for that yet?
No, I got.
Or is that you get first
A lot
choice?
more than
Or you
$400,000
get first
is a
I have
lot.
quite a few of them.
There's
Okay.
a lot of projects, as you know, that people have been talking about, and it's all about, we'll start with one and.
I think
go
we
You
have
more.
to finish the
prioritize
existing
it and go with one.
Yeah, absolutely, we gotta finish the ones that we're
Let's
already
finish the
working on.
existing ones first and then.
And to add to that, it's also like, for example, what we're dealing with, like, out here at the end of the Jones Creek here, we have an old duckbill or baffle, whatever it is. Luckily for us, we have a company that's willing to, we took it off yesterday, they're gonna take it back to their welding shop, do whatever welders do, try to get it to work again. But that would also allow us to be able to designate some funding if proper, or if we need to purchase something for that.
So you're using it for emergency fund for
No,
or priority
I don't
fund?
It doesn't necessarily need to be emergency fund.
But it's a
It's just that it's
priority,
money
so-
earmarked for capital
Yeah.
improvements.
Okay,
Not buying flowers with it.
okay. The other thing too, you're not going on any boondoggles or anything to Las Vegas?
No.
Okay.
None of that.
Not the-
Has there been any progress to the Valley Street pump?
Yes, we discussed it before you got here. We have, Brian actually just awarded an emergency, well, he vetted it out this earlier today and we voted on it. It's in the ordinances there, their resolutions rather. Tribar has been contracted for $52,800. He's going to do a much smaller scale project, but it will be a permanent fix to that problem at the Valley Street.
Okay. And there's always been a project in the books called Valley Street Improvement? Is that
That's what
what-
was held up by the Christine pulling the money out of DOT projects.
So
Now that
it's-
he's released that can happen.
And where does that start and finish? Do you know what
It was supposed to start at the pump and then go all the way up Fifth Street until you hit Bay Ave.
Short drive,
Short
actually.
Short drive.
It goes over the shore.
all the way to shore, and then I assume they'll fix that sidewalk that's crushed there on the valley, that'll come in part of it.
Everything except that 50 Valley, we're not doing anything there.
No, okay. Thanks, I'll shut up. That's to get me not to ask any more questions.
We could ask him.
Oh, and I have one other question.
Oh, right now,
Is there anything that you guys can talk about that's public knowledge of something big coming to town that can be talked about? I know there's always things that come across everybody's desk.
Oh, yeah, there's something big, there's gonna be the Amazing Grace Scavenger Hunt, that's
Oh,
gonna
that's
happen.
it, that's what it is.
Next
It's gonna bring
Saturday on the
thousands of
26th.
people, but,
Or 29th, rather.
yeah, at 9 o'clock, not 10 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay, but nothing that you guys know of?
I mean, I'm proud to say that May, the Bateman's lease, I think we're real close to signing that. That's been an ongoing battle for a while, and we've worked it out. And
Good.
both parties have, and I think it's gonna be a successful.
Everybody's
win-win.
happy with it?
Very happy across the boards.
Yeah.
And I have to thank our attorney who, with everybody in the same room, made everybody play nice and get worked out.
That must have been really hard.
Yeah, so, but at the end of the day, the Bayman, the clambers themselves, Mayor Nolan's primary objective, protect the Bayman, the clambers themselves, and the town, and the businesses, but I think we have a successful, so that's the big news.
Yeah. Because the product's definitely sellable, because in Virginia, they have aquacultures there with clams, and it's big business. It's in the millions and zillions of clams a year, so. Thank you, you guys can go home.
Okay, any other questions? I know.
I know.
All right, do I have a motion?
Motion adjourned? Yes.
Second.
Thank you.